Today is Mother's Day, and I wanted to make a video today talking to you about mothers in celebration of the mothers on this particular day. However, the mother should be celebrated every day. Do you agree? I agree too. The mother should be celebrated every day, and of course the father too, right? But this is not a video about the father. So let me say right now that a lot of the stuff that I'm about to say could be applied to the father as well. But this isn't about the father. You know, this is about the mother. So happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers who are mothers and doing the motherly thing in the best way that they're learning how. Because some mothers wasn't taught how to be a mother, right? So some of us are winging it. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. There are some people in the world who are very upset with their mothers, who have disowned their mothers, who hate their mothers, you know, who don't want nothing to do with their mothers, you know, who may even try to hurt their mothers. And to those individuals, this is what I want you to know and understand. You see, one thing I realized in my upbringing, because I too was one who had disowned my mother at one time. Because I felt my mother was so caught up into her own personal flaws and corruptions that she couldn't put those things aside for who? Selfish old me sometimes. And the reason why I say selfish old me sometimes is because, you know, I'm a grown man at this point in time. And I'm still holding on to things in the past against my mother, even though those things are still present. You see, one day I had to realize that my mother is no more imperfect than I am. No more imperfect than the next human being is. You see, the way she exhibits her imperfections may be different, right? But yet and still no one can say that if they was born in the same place my mother was born, if they went through what she went through growing up, if they had the same chemical imbalances that she may have had, that they wouldn't respond to life in the way that she had responded to. And you see, when I realized that, I had to look at myself, you know, reprimand myself, and then go and apologize and make up to and embrace my mother with all her flaws. Do you understand? Why? Because I am too a creation and a creature with flaws. You see, one thing I've learned throughout my journey and my walk is that I want to be viewed a certain way. And in the way that I strive to be viewed and dealt with, you know, I have to also produce that and put that out. But here's the other side of that. You see, I have to also want to be, you see, in the way that I deal with individuals who are in their flaws, right? I desire to be dealt with a certain way as well when I'm in my flaws. Do I want to be stumped on and kicked on when I'm down and out? You heard the saying, that you gonna kick me when I'm down. You see, when a person is living inside their flaws, they down. Why would you want to kick a person when they down? I know what we'll say, but you know better. I'm tired of that. You've been doing this too long. I understand that, and guess what? You're right. You have been doing that too long, mama. You do need to straighten up. You do need to get it together, right? However, that's mama's life. I don't know what she's been through. Whatever it is, whatever battle she's dealing with, whatever the case may be, she have not yet decided to face them and conquer them. And guess what? Only mama got to deal with that. I only got to love her for being my mama. I don't have to accept all of the nonsense that come, you know, that she's involved in. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to accept all those things. You understand? But you do still need to understand. You see, loving her is not for her. Why? It may make her feel good. Forgiving her is not just for her. While it may make her feel good, you see, loving her wholeheartedly and forgiving her is for you. Because you see, whenever you have a hindrance, a blockage, you know, a wall built up somewhere in your psyche, in your ability to feel, in your ability to be vulnerable and open to love, whenever there's a blockage, it won't allow you to become vulnerable or open with another individual. in the way that you may desire to. You see, someone that you're going to come across is going to deserve that from you. And someone you're going to come across, you're going to want to be like that with. But you're not going to be like that or able to be like that with them because you have not yet healed. You have not yet dealt with some issues that are going on in your own personal life, happened years ago, that you have not resolved in the best way. And you see, you can't say, "Oh, Mama, I forgive you, I understand, and just say, you can't just talk that forgiveness talk. That's my point. You can't just talk that forgiveness talk. You have to really be in a place to where you really, truly understand that your mother is no more imperfect than you are. No matter, you might not got the flaws she had, but guess what? She might not have the flaws you have. And you see, when people be sitting up in the church house, they love to point out people who have sins that they don't have. You understand? You see, when people are real religious, they love to try to point out the flaws or the weaknesses that another individual will have that you don't have. Why? Because it's easy and it make it look like what you have is smaller than really what it is. It's small to you, but it may be humongous to somebody else. Would you want to be treated like that? Yeah, you might say, "Well, I don't give a damn. Somebody treat me like that." You see, the reason why you may feel that way is because of where you are in your development. And it has a lot to do with the way you've dealt with your mother. Why I'm talking about your mother, because this is who it's about. But at the same time, this can be about your father. This can be about your brother. This can be about your sister. This can be about whoever. But whenever someone, you see, have you ever noticed that when you don't really care about somebody, like for real, like somebody, let's say somebody at the job. You see, somebody at the job can't really make you hold on to hate for years. Not nobody at the job. It might be somebody in your childhood that scarred you, that you have an issue with up to this day. It's because they scarred you. Let me tell you what a scar is. A scar is trauma is another terminology for you being scarred. You see, a person traumatized you. That's why you haven't let it go. And you have not dealt with it. You see, one thing that allows you to deal with anybody that you feel wrongs you or have actually wronged you, you have to understand that they are sick in their imperfections. That you should feel more sorry for them than you should be mad. Because in your anger, you also are headed for destruction. Why? Because you're not humble enough to see that that individual is no more imperfect than you are, no matter what the flaw is. I understand sometimes we like now off with his head. I get you. Trust me, I get you. And something God got to deal with, right? I get you. Trust me, I get you. But again, this is not for them. This is for you, beloved. This is not for them. This is for you, beloved. Am I saying forgive everybody? No, I'm not saying like just forgive. Well, hear what I am saying. While you understand sometimes a person makes some mistakes, the way you deal with them is a whole nother thing. You understand what I'm saying? You see, the way you deal with someone shouldn't be connected to a feeling. Shouldn't be connected to, how something got you all messed up here. The way you deal with somebody should be a very practical and a rational, like diagnosis, I would say. It should be a very practical and rational conclusion being made. Meaning that, the reason why you don't do something or do something is based off of a principle. You can walk this side and you ain't got no emotions that involved at all. And you still would do the exact same thing based on the principle. But if you know that you won't do the exact same thing, and it's all totally about the way you feel and you like to keep yourself frustrated or whatnot, that means that you need to really deal with that. You need to look into that. Because I'm going to tell you something. The way that blockage you got towards your mother, I'm going to tell you something. It's hindering you. It's hindering you. And it's burdening you. And it's making you ugly. And it's messing with most of your relationships, whether you understand it and realize it or not, and whether those people are telling you or not. So keep that in mind. Happy Mother's Day to you. And have a beautiful day to all and each one of you. And peace and blessings.